The weed? If you show a Korean like a flower and cannabis, it probably would look different. It's not legal. It's illegal. It's not legal. It is legal. Where?
Sashimi, I have no idea what it is. Maybe it's one of those knives. Knives they.
That's what I'm saying. That's so stereotypical. Like this guy's running around with a fish fillet knife.
You know, gangs used to stab people.
How do you know? Ade, you lost some weight. No more beer belly. Welcome to S Korea 360, episode 4, where we talk about everything Korea. My name is Ade.
Yo, it's David.
This is your #1 source for everything Korea. On today's show, does Korea have a drug problem?
Uh-oh.
Also, on the Waygook post of the week, we hear from Newbies and their experiences. But first, David with the trending news.
All right, 360 seconds. Let's
get it
go.
in.
Okay, social media and social comparisons. South Korea faces the world's lowest fertility rate, with experts attributing this to high living costs, work culture, changing gender roles. Additionally, the influence of social media is creating unrealistic expectations around marriage and lifestyle, discouraging young Koreans from settling down. Oh, yeah. So the world's lowest fertility rate. We've heard this on and on and on all the time. With tech, with social media, everyone just talks about, you know, all the things that they want to buy, but they just can't because they don't have the money.
Right.
And money, it all comes out to money. They just don't have the money to do anything. And you know, when you get married, you have to invest in a house, you have to buy a car, you have to buy diapers and all sorts of things.
Right, but however, I think social media is making unrealistic expectations. I think people, not everybody, but I think some people can get married, can have kids, but their expectations are so high.
Yeah.
Especially when you go on social media, just a comparison contest.
You know what? Social media is social media, to be honest with you.
What's up?
It's I don't want to say this, but
Say it.
you guys, like, social media is social media. It's just a place where you post
People
pics
live on there though.
to brag about what they have, what they don't have. Don't compare your life to people on social media. Not all the posts are real. Some people might be faking it. Some people borrow loans from the bank.
It's 90%
and then
fake.
they flex it. And you know it's fake, but it gets in your brain, and then it starts to, you know, terrorize your brain, and then you start to make all these fantasies about life.
A lot of people are single and can't even flex or show off when they're single. So what makes them want to get married and have kids? I don't think, personally, for social media, people have to understand everything's fake, everything looks perfect. And is with the whole economy and Korea not wanting to have kids, it makes things worse. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, man, social media, I just use it for, I don't use it to compare my life with them, you know?
Right.
It's just like,
You have to have your purpose for it, but people live on there, so.
yeah, don't live on it.
Don't
What's
live on
the point?
there. Right.
All right, let's move on to our second story. 30 people purchased 8,000 homes. Okay?
How many?
30 freaking people purchased 8,000 homes. So data revealed that 30 individuals, like they're all different people, purchased nearly 8,000 homes. Total value, 1.19 trillion won. 1.19 trillion won.
And that's like almost 900 million USD dollars.
Almost 900 million US dollars in Korea over the past 5.5 years. This significant buying spree indicates that the government's anti-land speculation rules may be ineffective in controlling housing prices. Now you understand South Korea? Now, most of these purchases occur in high demand areas like Seoul, Incheon, and Gyeonggi province. They gotta put in stricter rules. I mean, Korean laws are super weak. We hear this all the time. We see it in the news all the time. It's not just for like violent crimes. It's not just for like, you know, small petty crimes either. It's for like these big issues as well. Their laws it's super weak. And that's why people take advantage of these laws. And I wonder why it's super weak. Maybe the politicians are involved in this kind of scandals.
Well, I don't know much I do know a little bit about real estate in Korea, but I know in America and Canada, it's not much difference. But I will say in America, corporations like on stock market, they're on like the S&P and the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
They buy houses. So when you're like a family bidding on a house and the house is like 300K, a corporation will bid like 350 just because they can, and then rent it out to you.
But the thing about, at least in America, the land is massive. There's so many land and property there, whereas Korea fits in a Lake Superior size. You know what I'm saying?
That is true, but everybody was still the same problem in America. Everybody wants to live in the high destination cities.
Right.
Everyone wants to live in Seoul, and Gyeonggi-do.
There's only Seoul here in Korea. In America, there's at least New York, LA, there's Texas now, there's Atlanta, there's a bunch of different places.
Right.
And
I see
options.
what you mean.
But Korea is just, everyone just wants to go to one area, which is Seoul. They don't even look at Busan. Yeah,
right.
That's the unfortunate part. But like this 30 people purchasing 8,000 homes, come on, regulations. What kind of regulations do you guys have?
But some people would argue it's capitalism.
I know, but capitalism, you know what they say, everything in moderation is always best. But
Right.
There seems to be no moderation here. All right, let's move on. All right, third story. Over 2,000 subway passengers injured in Seoul over 5 years. So over the last 5 years, over 2,000 people sustained injuries on Seoul subways, with line number 2 recording the highest number of injuries. The injuries decreased during peak COVID-19 times, but
sure.
they begun to rise again in 2022, and Seoul Metro paid $1.5 million for medical treatments. Primary causes were passengers being stuck between subway doors and injuries occurring inside subway stations and cars. And I think a lot of these injuries happen because...
Just say it.
Because some people are irresponsible, to be honest. Some people just...
That's a good way of saying it.
No, I think some people just want to get injured, to be honest with you. Like, the doors are closing. Why are you running into a door that's closing?
Literally what happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, like, I know there's a lot of people and you're in a rush, but sometimes you make the wrong choice of running into a closing door. That's why you're getting jammed. But at the same time, there's also the other side of the story where there's too many people.
No, there can be too many people, right? Too many people, right?
Too many people, like, but you're getting squeezed out of the car.
Right. If that happens, I understand, right? But if you, I've seen so many people literally running nose, like just boom, like.
Yeah.
They see the door closing, but they pretend like they don't see it closing, like it's gonna stop for them.
Exactly.
And they're just like ricochet, or the body just ricochets off the door.
Exactly.
And I'm like.
And then they blame the subway for it, you know? It's just, come on, like.
So again, please, be safe. You know, is it really worth it? Or wake up early and be on time? So
And to be honest with you, 2,000 passengers injured in Seoul over 5 years. I thought it's pretty small.
Really? I thought it was a lot.
5 years, man. I thought maybe 2,000 passengers injured in 1 year. If that
Korea is super safe though, but
there's so many people using it, you know.
However, did you hear about today? Maybe you haven't heard about it. There was a worry that someone pulled out a knife on the subway.
Oh man, that's dangerous.
And then there's like a stampede on the subway.
Oh, that's.
And then people were getting injured. I don't know if it was real. I think it was a scare.
Okay.
Right, and we'll probably play the video during this segment. But no, there's a video, and so.
That's something you don't want happening. Any sort of crazy violence.
I think we're gonna talk about it a bit later. But yeah.
Okay, let's move on to our Waygook post of the week. Huh?
All right, so that wraps up the news. So our Waygook post of the week, I'll introduce it. So one person on a social media platform said, "Fellow expaters, especially the newbies in Korea, there are so many new things to experience. What has been your experience thus far?" David, can you jump in for us?
All right, commenter 1 said, "Groups of 3 or 4 people taking up the whole dang sidewalk."
David's favorite.
I didn't write this though.
I know that.
And not giving an inch, literally just have to stop in my tracks, pretend to be checking my phone, and then either finally go around or still shoulder bump me. The inconsiderable nature is really frustrating at times. That and ajumas pushing shopping carts sideways or at an angle. Just why? And then there's a comment on this comment saying, quote unquote, "You should try walking around the homeless in LA."
This is that's fire right there.
I guess maybe
fire.
maybe this person, the first commenter, lived in Europe. And Europe is a little more friendly area to live.
It's a stark reminder that usually when you're complaining, there's people that have it more worse than you, or there's worse situations. I love the back and forth. Why not? It's really funny, but it is kind of true though.
Are you okay with the sidewalk people like taking up the whole space and walking in front of you like really slowly though?
No, and it happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time. How do you deal with it?
How do I deal with it?
Do you slow down your pace or then you just kind of?
I just slip
slip
by
through?
people, right? And I just
You're a big guy though.
What you trying to say?
how do you slip through? Like the sidewalk's like literally this big with like 3 people in there, you know?
You know what it is? I'm more like the second commenter on this post. It could be worse. If this is my biggest problem for the day, Ajuma's taking up the sidewalk.
No, it's not a biggest problem of the day. It's one of the
Yeah, but that's how I look at it. I'm like, this is not a problem. This is whatever.
You know.
And I leave early. Wherever I go, I make sure I leave early so I'm not in a rush.
Oh, okay. That's good.
What about you? I know it kind of makes your blood boil.
No, it doesn't make my blood boil per se, but it's just annoying when you have, you know, people who are inconsiderate of others who might be walking faster than you, or there could be maybe someone running to go to the bathroom, to go home to use the bathroom, but there's like a group of people in front of them, you know?
It's gonna happen. But yeah, all right, let's move on.
Yeah. That happens. All right, let's move on to our second commenter. It's been cool so far. I'm thinking about staying another year. Being here is definitely the safest I've ever felt, and a lot of things are so convenient.
How do you know it's a girl? How do you know it's a girl?
It could be a guy.
Okay, go ahead.
Me. Even living in the country like I am, although I will say having raving people trying to touch my hair is irritating, and people are pushy here on public transportation. LOL. Gotta be the first off and the first on IG.
That is true.
OMG.
That is true.
I'm just now picking up studying Korean again, so hopefully this time next year I can hold a short convo. LOL. Korea is a pretty decent country and very pretty. Am I missing home? Am missing home, but I'm not ready to live there again. LOL, just visiting my people.
I'll say this. I like this commenter minus your voice. Because this person she's just laying out the facts, like what she likes, what she doesn't like, but she has a more upbeat, positive tone to it.
Let's be plural here. Let's go with plural. Let's use they.
You can use they. I'm assuming this is a he or a she, so I'm going to use he or she or this person. This person is very positive. The person off the train, you drive in Korea, right?
Yeah.
I take the subway every day. This is super irritating, right? But again, there could be worse problems. But she's right. Korea is a beautiful country. It's a good place to live, especially if you have a positive outlook. You'd be good here.
Yeah, I know if you've had experiences where people wanted to touch your hair because...
A quick story, bro. I was on a plane to Jeju, and I'm just chilling, minding my... I'm just chilling.
I know this story.
Minding my own business.
Yeah.
The plane hasn't taken off yet, and I got the window. I always get the window seat. I'm enjoying it, looking out the window. I'm going to Jeju for the first time, you know? Let's see what's going on. And I'm just, enjoying the moment, and bro, I just feel... And I'm like, this can't be real right now. I'm like, this can't be real right, bro. A hand, like the hand of God, bro, from the back. Someone started touching my hair.
But they touched you like this, or they didn't touch you like this?
Bro, it was just like, and then it was like. And mind you, I'm just in shock. Because I'm just like, what the hell is going on right now?
That's kind of freaky though.
And then I look back, and it's an Ajuma, and like she just looks so. And that's one thing about Korea, like they do the craziest. They should not do that.
Yeah.
However, I can just feel her intentions were so pure. However, I had
like a curious kid.
Yeah, right.
Like a curious kid.
But she's not a kid though. She should know better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, like, I couldn't even really get angry, right? She smiled at me. She's just like, right? She's like, what? Like, I'm like, nah, and she's like, okay, right? And then my friend beside me, they're like, that's super rude. And I'm like, it is super rude, but it's a story for me to tell later. And here I am telling the story.
Man,
so, yeah, man, I know.
I just can't imagine.
I got a ton of those stories, Brian.
But but like Korean people, they're pretty touchy when it comes to in public spaces, I think. But they're not intentionally touching you, I think, except for your case.
That was intense. Bro, let me tell you one time, bro. I was on the train one time. I was waiting for the subway. I was waiting for the subway again, minding my business. And I just feel someone like giving me a massage.
Oh, wow.
Right? So I'm like, this has to be somebody I know. You know what I mean? Like, has to be somebody I haven't seen
You turned
in a
around
while.
smiling?
Bro, I turn around, some ajashi, bro. He's just like, wow, mum jota, wow, wow, mum jota. And I'm just like, yo, why is it always happening to me?
Yeah.
Right? Again, like you can't even get mad at someone with the kid face. It's just like, you know, so and I'm just like, you know, like, yo, back up, you know, give me 5 feet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's just smiling, and then he came again, and I'm like, no, I went for my leg this time. I'm like, yo, you gotta back up. Yeah. And he's like, wow, mum jota. And I'm just like, all right, cool, you know?
I guess he wasn't from Busan. He would have said mom jigine.
Let's move to the next one.
Next one. Commenter 3 said, oh, I love it here so far. I'm so happy. I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be right now. Come from Canada. The hot weather and humidity are kicking my butt. But otherwise, things are great. I did a lot of research before coming here, so nothing has surprised me too much, but there are certainly differences from home. All right.
Yeah, the weather.
Love the weather.
I don't know. Yeah, hot weather kicking your butt.
This summer was pretty humid though. And if you love
I'm not complaining.
Humid temperatures, humid hot weather, Korea is good for you.
Right now in Canada, listen, sweater weather right now. Like from like August, they're like wearing sweaters in the nighttime. It's cold. Yeah. I was in Canada last year. In the morning time, it was cold. Like
when did you go?
Last year, summertime in July.
But it was cold.
In the morning.
Oh, morning. Morning's nice and crisp. Fresh air, like what, 18 degrees Celsius, and then it hits 30 degrees Celsius.
There was like humidity. There was like fog on my windshield.
There's humidity in Canada?
Not humidity. Like what is it called? The condensation.
Condensation
was on my windshield. Like it's cold.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I had to like turn on the heater for a second to warm up the car in the summer. Listen, man, don't get me started about this. But I hope this person is enjoying. Especially me, us coming from Canada. Yeah. Love it here. So many benefits. No tipping. Transportation actually works.
Yeah.
So many, a lot of good things.
What I miss about Canada is
food. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Tap water. I used to drink tap water all the time in Ottawa. Here, I don't drink tap water. I have to use a filter water.
Oh, poor David.
I know, right? So I remember going to school, like high school, university, tap water all the time. You know, it's convenient, but here I just can't deal with the rusted water. You know.
All right, let's jump on to the next one.
This is filtered water and coffee.
I know it is.
All right, so let's move on to commenter number 4. Pushing on the subway in Seoul, having the elevator door literally closed on me as I walk in because they're beating the dang closed door button.
Listen, they literally be like, yo, the corner eye is up. They'll be like,
yeah.
They just be hitting that button, bro.
Did you not do that when you were in Canada or wherever you're from in America?
Like, no, we mean like we always hold open the elevator.
Pressing the door open button.
Like the open button. We're not closing. What's a few seconds? Korea's a Bali culture. It is what it is. It's a double-edged sword, right? Mm. But bro, so many times. And they'll just be looking at you. And the door is just closing. And they're just pressing that button.
You know what I said one time when I saw the person closing it on me and I slipped in? I said, thanks.
And they just put their head down, right?
Yeah, they just put their head down. Yeah. Yeah, we all had this experience.
It happens, man. So with the next one.
Yeah, number 5. I've been here just over a year and I've about had enough of the place. Oof. Hot, sticky summers, freezing cold winter, rude people who will not only judge you on your appearance, but tell you exactly what they think of it. Treated like a piece of meat.
Tell them how you really feel.
Oh, okay, so this person's a lady, I think. Treated like a piece of meat by most of the men I meet. Are you open-minded? Will you do this with me? Oh, I see. Maybe this person did Tinder or something. Like an app.
Yeah, okay.
Do men actually go up to them and ask them?
I don't.
Verbally?
I'm not a female. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never had a.
But let's break this. Okay, let's break this down. Okay, hot sticky summers. I love the summers here. If Busan's the hottest, Busan's the best place to be in summertime.
I mean, if Korea's hot sticky, you can't go to any other Southeast Asian countries. They're hot and stickier.
Freezing cold winters. I don't know where you are. Maybe you're in Seoul or some Gyeonggi-do or whatever.
Gangwon-do area, yeah.
Yeah, I don't play that. Rude people. There's rude people everywhere.
Yeah.
Not just in Korea. Like there's rude people everywhere in the world. People and Koreans, if you talk to them, they're generally pretty nice and kind. Yeah, and they usually tell you about your appearance to your face. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't.
the Korean culture, that's the Korean culture
Right.
thing, like the appearance thing. They just tell you what you look like oh, you look pale or you look
You look
sick.
sick today, right?
Yeah, you look a little chubby today.
She wasn't the lie? Okay, so I remember one time at my elementary school, my Korean amma, she took care of me. She was such a wonderful person. And then I lost some weight, right? And then she's like, Ade, you lost some weight. I'm like, thank you. She's like, no more beer belly. I was like, yeah, right. No more beer belly, yeah, right? It's all about how you take it. You can't control what happens, but you can control how you react to it. And that's the main part.
And when it comes to these comments about your appearances, you guys have to know, all the foreigners and expats listening, expats should know, but foreigners visiting for a short period of time, usually these comments have no hate in them. There's no harm, no hate. They're just commenting on it because it's the culture here.
They'll tell their son that, no problem.
Yeah. That's why Koreans, when they go to Chuseok holidays or Seollal holidays, they're like,
Horse goes up.
yeah, they're like, oh, no. I mean like, you lost weight or you look too skinny or you look too fat.
Right.
It's a culture thing here, so you can't take it too personally.
It's normal.
If you take it too personally, then you got a very close-minded.
Right.
Yeah.
Go to number 6.
All right, the next one. I really enjoy experiences personally. Local markets are a favorite. I enjoy art, architecture too. Cultural events are fun. Last week I made moss ball plants. I don't know what that is. Next week I'll maybe go to Jeonju's Hanok village and learn to make makgeolli. There's something for everyone, and you can do it on a budget.
If you're a little bit of a frugal person, you can have a good time in Korea, especially if you know where to go and research well. So, congrats to this person.
Yeah, you don't have to be frugal. I think a lot of the experiences here are pretty cheap too, very affordable. I've recently had my family come from America to visit here. They were eating out. The whole bill came out to like less than $80 US dollars.
And it's four people. Right.
They're like, how is it this cheap?
Because they know in America, they know they get.
One outing is $200 plus tips, at least, So that's just food. When it comes to experiences, maybe $15 per person, at most $50 per person. It's cheap.
Right. It's cheap.
It's cheap, affordable.
All right, let's go to the last one.
Last one is discrimination. Discrimination saying, I don't even go out, I'm just counting down my time. Okay, see ya. To be honest with you.
I think we made a video about this. I made a video about this. When it comes to this kind of thing, like I don't even go out. Really, truly, to this person or to anybody who's feeling this way, it sucks that you feel this way. However, you can't let people control you. We didn't mean you don't go out. You're in a brand new country. Like go outside, go find some positive experiences. Again, you can't control what happens to you. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to it. This is not a positive way to react to it, right? So to this person or to anybody kind of feeling a little bit in the dumps, go for a walk, go do something, go find a positive experience.
Yeah, well said.
All right, let's move
All
on.
right.
Talk about drugs.
Drugs in Korea, it's a increasing issue here in South Korea. Let's read this.
Go ahead.
South Korean police arrested 2 individuals, a South Korean and a Filipino, and questioned over 17 American soldiers following raids at Camp Humphreys and Camp Casey, suspecting them of smuggling and distributing synthetic cannabis. Now, the raids were based on intelligence from the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Division. Suspected soldiers currently not detained were sent to further investigation. Cannabis use in South Korea, so weed used in South Korea can lead to 5 years in prison or a fine of up to 50 million Korean won.
And public shame. Don't forget about that part.
Okay, I've been saying this for a while. Cannabis, weed, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, you have countries around the world that legalized it for a reason. Okay?
For sure.
And there's enough research that saying that smoking cigarettes is worse than weed.
You know they don't play that here.
But Korea doesn't like it.
They don't play that here.
You know,
you can give them all the evidence
politics
in the world.
It's politics, and it's the cigarette companies, man.
Listen,
I don't know if there's any other reason why Korea is so against cannabis or weed. Let me know. I want to be enlightened why they consider it more dangerous substance than.
okay,
You know?
I used to play sports. I used to play basketball, right? Our team was pretty decent. When we're at a certain school and we're playing well, we are not cocky. You know why? We don't have home court advantage. Certain schools, they will find you after the game, and they will press you like, hey, you're a little bit loud during the game. So we're quiet when we play. Other schools, they're not like that, but we know which school we can do that at and which school we can't do that at. When you come to Korea, do not play that. Do not play any drug game, anything like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Korea does not play that.
Yeah, that's the rules and that's law. But what I don't understand is around the world and researchers around the world.
For sure. There's so many
done.
benefits. There's even hemp benefits and whatnot, but they're not playing that.
Yeah, so I want to know. Anyone watching YouTube, let me know why Korea is banning it.
Banning the weed?
Yeah, you can't smoke it. You can't
Because
sell it.
they're a conservative country. They're a conservative country.
No.
It's a gateway. To them, it's a gateway.
But cigarettes are allowed. Why? That's what I want to know.
It's a social cultural construct thing.
So why are they brainwashing everyone that cannabis is worse? You know, that's the social thing. It's messed up, is what I'm saying.
I think smart people do know, but you can't convince the public.
But
that.
what I do know is what's illegal is illegal. You can't do it.
Sure.
I totally understand. I totally agree with it. That's why you shouldn't do it. If you're breaking the rules and the laws,
Sure.
you should get out of the country. But what I don't understand is the philosophy behind the whole thing. You know, like, why is it illegal in the first place? Who made it illegal? Who made up the Constitution?
But I kind of agree with it because to them, you have to understand, these are older people, like super conservative older people, right? If you show a Korean like a flower and cannabis, they probably wouldn't even know the difference, right? That's how against it they are. And a lot of people don't.
False education as well.
They don't even consider weed as a drug in certain places in the world, right? They don't think cannabis is like a drug. But in Korea, if you say you're doing marijuana, they think you're like taking like
cocaine
or heroin or whatever.
something.
To them, drug is drug. There's no, in America, like Schedule A, Schedule B, in Korea, it's all the same thing. Drug is a drug.
I know.
Right?
I already get all that.
They're not gonna change. But why? Older people are not, it's a slippery slope. If you let that in, and you know Koreans generally have a addictive nature. That's why there's not much gambling places here, right?
Oh, there are a lot. You just don't know, man.
Oh, okay, we're getting something different.
No,
we're gonna get something different.
You hear the news getting busted, people getting busted by.
Okay, let me rephrase that. There's no legal gambling place.
There are now.
There's like one.
There's people. A lot of people play Korean play. They play poker nowadays. It's gambling.
It's not legal.
It's legal.
It's not legal.
It is legal.
Where?
You want to just search on Naver right now if you want to play poker.
It's legal?
It's legal.
Oh, you can play poker, but it's not
And you win prizes.
Yeah, but it's not money. You know what I
But
mean.
you have to buy the tickets. It's a very what do you call it?
Yeah, around the right.
Ambiguous.
Yeah, right. But what I mean is you can't go to like a casino and like.
No, there's no casinos. Casinos
and
are
that's
only
what
for
I mean.
foreigners.
Yeah, that's
but
what
like
I mean.
Poker, yeah, there's people can gamble. Yeah.
But back to the drugs.
So the thing about Korea, man, is this is like these kind of rules and laws and regulations. It's just so whack, is what I want to say.
I disagree. I still disagree.
All right,
but we can leave it there.
Yeah.
I'll say this though. When it comes to the U.S. Army thing, I understand why they're here, but this is why this topic is such a hot topic in Korea. Like, there's always protests in Seoul. We were in Seoul last time. There's a protest against the U.S. Army being here, and they do kind of have a bad rap here, and this doesn't help their case at all, right? When the U.S. Army had curfew, It was the worst. I'm Canadian. They always used to stop me, ask me for my ID, right? And they kind of have a bad rap here. And I hope that in the future, because I know it's not everybody, but it only takes a small group of people to ruin it for everybody, right?
For sure.
So I'll just say that when it comes to that.
Yeah. What's illegal here, you should not do.
Don't play with it.
Yeah.
And then speaking about drugs, what happened to the Lamborghini driver?
Let's look at what happened to the Lamborghini driver. Okay. The 30-year-old man, surnamed Hong, has been referred to prosecutors after allegedly threatening another driver with a sashimi knife over a parking dispute in Gangnam, Seoul. Now, this is a big news. It's been on over headlines everywhere.
Sorry, yo.
He carries around a sashimi knife in the car.
What kind of knife is that? I'm sorry, what is that?
Sashimi knife. I have no idea what it is. Maybe it's one of those knives a butcher carries around.
Yo,
you know, like,
what?
Oh, it's the long ones.
I don't eat raw. Sashimi's raw fish, right?
Sashimi knives are the long ones.
I don't eat raw fish, so I don't.
Oh, okay,
I don't
okay.
know.
Like a butcher knife is the thick, the block ones, right? The thick ones. Sashimi knives are the really long ones. The ones where gangs use, like Yakuzas use and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's so stereotypical. Like, this guy's running around with a fish fillet knife?
Yeah. Oh, because apparently sashimi knives are what, gangs use to stab people.
How do you know?
You watch gang movies all the time. Action movies.
All right.
Now, Hong, whose driver's license was revoked, parked his Lamborghini and displayed the knife tucked in his waist after a disagreement on September 11th. So he was showing his knife. He's like, hey, I parked here first.
Yo, this guy's a gangster, bro.
It's like in America, you show your gun.
I can't hold it in.
I can't hold it. You show your gun, but here you're showing his sashimi knife handles, He's got the handles. He was arrested, so this happened on September the 11th.
Okay.
Oh, what a date. He was arrested 3 hours later and tested positive for multiple illicit drugs. Police are investigating any violations of Narcotics Control Act related to his medical treatments.
Okay, so I also heard about this story, which is a common thing in Korea. When you get tested for drugs and there's drugs in your system, the number one excuse they say is, oh, I got like anesthesia or like I went under.
Yeah, hospital stuff.
I went to the hospital, right? That's what they always say. They kind of like.
But if you have a guy with a sashimi knife under his belt,
I can't. You said it's a long knife. How is he?
I have no idea. I guess he has long legs too.
All right.
Maybe he's a tall dude. I don't know.
But yeah, this to be honest, I think Korea is super safe. I don't think Korea has a drug problem per se compared to other countries. But I will say for their standard, it is maybe getting worse. And this whole Lamborghini thing, it just makes it a lot more, I say, entertaining, I guess.
Yeah, stabbing incidents happening in a rise
recently.
Yeah,
especially right now. You can't be,
but
brandishing a knife. You can't be doing that.
But like, people carrying around sashimi knives is pretty common in Korea among gangsters and people.
But how are you a gangster in a Lamborghini? Probably one of those 30 people buying all the houses, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe he's one of the 30s, yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, man.
Yeah, there are a lot of stereotypes being put on certain people who look like certain things, and they ride Lamborghinis and they ride Ferraris, whatever, and
over a parking dispute. You got caught over a parking dispute. Like, come on, man. That's so whack.
Maybe he was on steroids. Steroids give you that rage.
I don't know, man. All right.
Whatever it is, carrying around a weapon like that,
that's not a good look.
That's not cool, man.
All right. Okay, so that wraps up our episode. Very entertaining today. So if you like this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know in the comments about the housing, the drugs, the subways. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, what you disagree, what you agree. If you're an expert in like a legal department, let us know, man. Like, I would like to know.
All right. Thanks for watching.